Welcome to another exciting MTN webinar. As usual, this is another session in a series of sessions to come, and we appreciate everyone here today for taking out time to be here, especially because it is on a Monday. We understand that Mondays, and we do not take your presence here for granted. So once again, I welcome you all to the webinar, Necessity in Difficult Times. Before I go ahead, I really want to share a short quote by James Altucher, and he said that investing is for wealth preservation and not wealth creation. So first, you have to be right, and I totally agree with this, and I hope that everyone here does agree with this particular quote. So building wealth is a very important skill for us to learn. I believe everyone here will also agree with me that we are in a tough economic situation. Tough situations and talks like this becomes a must for us to have if we must succeed, right? And this session, I can promise you that it promises to be quite insightful, and I hope that you all are all excited to be here already, because I am excited to be here. So first of all, permit me to introduce the team that are present here to you. From the MTN side, my name is Motunrayo Iweje, and I have here with me Kate Daniels, Aderonke Aino, Blessing Wogere. From the LOSODE side, I have Aderonke Ajose Adeyemi, who is the founder and CEO of LOSODE. I also have Vivian Thomas here with me, as well as other team members from LOSODE. Please note that you can always drop your questions in the Q&A section, as we will definitely attend to them after the presentation. So quickly before I start, use Mrs. Aderonke Ajose, the founder and CEO of LOSODE, an e-commerce buyers and sellers in the fashion industry. Ade started a successful career in technology after completing an electrical and electronics engineering degree at the Queen Mary College, University of London. She has over a decade of experience working as a project management professional for a plethora of global firms such as Philips, IBM, Reuters, Ford Europe, etc. I've always held a penchant for running our own businesses, and this is no surprise given our occupational background. Our father was a renowned African industrialist and agriculturalist who specialized in the manufacture of oil and cocoa, and our mother was an established magistrate in the Lagos State, Nigeria. She grew up understanding the intricacies of the business world, combined with the character, resilience, courage, which are naturally demanded of entrepreneurs. Ade survey fashion of a target market, an ideal customer. Inherently African, she started LOSODE with a desire market. She completed the entrepreneurial edge course at the London Business School, United Kingdom, where a business, LOSODE, finished top 7. So ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce to you Aderonke Ajose, who will take us through the presentation. Adejoke, over to you.
Aderonke. So thank you, Motunrayo, for that really great intro from your part. Can I just check that people can actually hear me? Because I know Motunrayo froze a few times. Was that just me, or was it for everybody? I just want to check that I'm not the one that's freezing.
So I can hear you
clearly, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I freeze, just let me know and I will take it back. So hello guys, I know this is, so essentially my name is Ade. Motunrayo has already done an intro, a very professional intro, but essentially let me just tell you, I'm an entrepreneur and I am particular about the wealth story. So we don't set up businesses because we want to. We set up businesses to help people and to make money. And businesses do need to make money. Thank you very much. So very quickly, I just want to get a view of where people are logging in from. And please don't say Nigeria, because I know the majority of people are probably in Nigeria. So can you put your states on there? I see a few familiar faces. Hello, Emily. So guys, indulge me and please just chat in the box where you're logging in from in Nigeria, or let's get a sense of where you are. Lagos. Hello, Lagos. Anyone else that's outside Lagos? Surulere, hello. Lagos as well. Not surprising. Taiwo says she's in Lagos, or he or she is in Lagos. Hello, Taiwo. I think is Lagos is pretty much an entrepreneurial hub. But we good to see someone who's not. Oh, Tolani says she's in Plateau State. Good morning, Lagos. Awesome. Okay, so that's just a few people. So I'm going to ask a few questions as we go through this, and it will make a lot of sense as we go into it. I will tell you my own personal story at some point. I see already going, hello to this fashion and lifestyle. Hey, to the fashion industry. So I'm going to ask a few questions as we go along. Oh, wow, I see Houston, Texas. Wow, Akwa Ibom State. Hello, Dr. Udom. All right, so let's start. I think the money story is extremely important. And the reason why the money story is important is because, to be honest, you will never be able to fulfill your entrepreneurial vision if that money story is not fixed, right? So the quickest way to very quickly start any business is money. And again, like I said, I will share my story with you, but I have a question for you in the first instance. So something for you to just think about. I want you to tell me, if money was no limit, like there was no issue with money, there were concerns with money, where would you go to on holiday, and what kind of holiday would you take? So where would you go to, and how, just would it be luxury? Would it be affordable? What would you do? And I just want people to take 1 minute to answer that question, and you'll see why it's a very important question as we go along. I'm waiting for responses. Ellen World Travel, you should have one amazing one for me. So if you could take any holiday, where would you go to? And I think this is a very important question because entrepreneurs really think about taking a holiday. So if you had the opportunity to go on a holiday, money was no issue, no concern, where would you go? Thematic and luxurious, that's what Dr. Udom says. Where would you go though? Where? Thematic and luxurious could be anything. It could be in your backyard. Shola Doye Tolani says, I would prefer to travel to the US, but what do in the US? What kind of holiday would it be? Vivian says, South Island, New Zealand. Ellen World Travel says, Dubai. But what would you do in Dubai? We told you that money is not a problem. So I want you to tweak your imagination, So I like thematic and luxurious, but I want to know where. Good morning, Tanimo. Where would you go? What kind of holiday would it be? Still waiting for responses. Come on. Paris to check what can help my business. Chidi's Fashion, we said holiday. It's not business trip. Holiday. But I'm going to tell you how you're going to get to Paris. Holiday, you guys, not business. Zurich, Switzerland. And Aderonke says, what would you do there? Pascal says, Italy. Wow, I love Italy as well. Hi, Sharifa. Okay, so it's interesting as I look at the responses because we can very quickly start to see where we've been missing it, and I will clearly show you. So Seychelles, better to this fashion. What would you do in Seychelles? Because Seychelles is actually in Africa. It's not that complex to get to Seychelles, and it's not that expensive actually. And you don't need visa if you have a Nigerian passport. Just clearing some things up there. Okay, so let's get into it. Thank you very much for your responses and thank you for your answers. Oh wow, Vivian says she will have at least a spoon of every meal they have on the island. That is awesome. Visit the Alps. And thank you. Now we're painting a clearer picture to Safari and Victoria Falls. Much, much better. All right, guys. So awesome. Someone said Nihi Sumba Island in Indonesia. We are getting a lot clearer. So, guys, this is one of the things we really do as entrepreneurs, right? We're so focused in on our businesses that we don't paint other pictures that need to be painted. And if we're not careful, we will keep holding that picture of what is happening as opposed to where we actually want to go to. Does that make sense? So let me go into the conversation proper. Once again, thank you for all your answers. Now, when MTN asked me to speak about the topic, I said I wanted to speak to building wealth in difficult economic times. Now, I don't know about any of you, but as an entrepreneur in Nigeria or a Nigerian entrepreneur, I have never been in a situation like the one that tell you a bit about my own story so that when I'm talking to you, you understand that I'm not coming here from a perspective of oh, I know, I'm privileged, and so that's why I'm talking. So in 2019, I had a vision to build LOSODE marketplace platform in Nigeria. And so I had been thinking about it. I'd worked in the UK for some time, and I just thought, I'm to Nigeria and do this. And I felt very strongly in my mind or in my spirit, like a lot of us entrepreneurs, that this is what I wanted to spend my life doing. I wanted to spend my life empowering people by building e-commerce, and it was a tech business. So LOSODE is an e-commerce platform, meaning that we're a tech business. What we do is we solutionize in the industry, but predominantly we're a tech business. And so I packed my bags and I came to Lagos from London. Now, I had a pretty comfortable life. Again, like a lot of entrepreneurs do before they decide to go and take on business. You're pretty comfortable. You have a job. It's someone else's problem to worry about the salaries of paying you, or even, you don't have a job, but you shall have something going, even if it's your parents giving you money, and then you decide to go and go into business, which is what I did. So I got to Nigeria, I started building a team, took my life savings, whatever money I had, I started building this team, and the business started to yield as quickly as I thought it would. And that's typical of tech businesses. That's why a lot of tech founders go and raise money and all of that and come up with all of those ways, because it is not particularly easy to start generating income from a tech business immediately. You have to build the infrastructure, you have to get a team in place, you have to show traction. There are just a million and one things that you need to do. So that's kind of how I started. So I did that for 2 years and I continued to do it. And there was no question that this was what I wanted to do. Again, please listen to a lot of my words as I'm speaking. There was absolutely no question in my mind. LOSODE was what I wanted to do, and I kept pushing. However, I started to struggle with money. Eventually, March, April this year, it all came to a head. I had run out of savings. I couldn't pay my staff. Staff started to drop off like flies. I mean, I don't know. And I think the dollar situation did not help. So you would go to buy something, you will go to do some work, and then as you get there, you will find out that the prices were increasing literally daily. Same with food, same with everything else. And I thought literally my life was over. I thought I was done. I thought the business had collapsed. And I was like, how could I have spent the last 2 years investing in something? And this is the end of it. So when I'm speaking to you today, I'm speaking from a place of experience. Now, I cannot even to drive. I want to really try and narrate how awful I felt in those moments. Like, at some point I'd run away from my phone because the calls kept coming. When are you going to pay us this? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? And I'd be like, literally, for those of you who are Yoruba, permit me here, or you who are not Yoruba, permit me here. I was like, down, like I'm done, and that's how I felt. But I just felt that, no, how could I have invested this much of my time, and I'm currently in this situation? And it was a particularly difficult economic time. So you're delaying salaries, yet you know that the people that you're delaying salaries for need to get paid. I don't know that any entrepreneur is ever comfortable in that kind of situation, because it's difficult for everybody, So it was an extremely tough period. But you see, I'm going to mention one of the characteristics every entrepreneur should have or should start to develop is resiliency. right? Most times we've heard it said that when there are tough times, it's an opportunity for growth. And you can actually take that opportunity to grow, or you can give up. Now, again, I'll put in another thing there. As an entrepreneur, never, ever, ever, ever. So if there's anything I do today, I want to instill some hope to you that, look, giving up is not an option. Remove that option from your mind. But I'm going to be practical and tell you how within a couple of months, I'm not exaggerating, a plan was in place to sort everybody out. We set out the really, really pertinent ones. I had started to save for myself and put in plans to start to save for the business. So I think what shocked me was the speed at which the story turned around. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you some of the principles that I adopted in getting out of that situation, and very useful principles that people should have as entrepreneurs. Now, what I have painted is the worst case scenario, meaning that if you suddenly find your situation where there's no money, suppliers are in your case, creditors are in your case, and I intentionally want to play the worst case scenario so that people that are not even worst case scenario can slowly start to find their way out of it, and make plans to do it better. So I've touched on the current situation in Nigeria, we know it, but I'm going to go a little bit further. As I really get into the meat of this, I want you guys to please open your minds a little bit more. I will tell you for free, we all have the opportunity to be millionaires and multi-millionaires. So everybody has that opportunity, right? Another thing I'm going to tell you is that most of the people that are multi-millionaires today started with zero. Most of the people, and I think this is such a core point, most of the people that are multi-millionaires today started with nothing. They started with zero. They literally did not have anything. So if at zero right now, you are in perfectly good company. In fact, congratulate yourself, give me a high five, whatever. If you are zero right now, perfectly good company, right? So I just want to clarify that. Now, but keep an open mind as we get into the bones of this discussion, because lives are literally going to change as we go through this. The same way my own situation changed, lives are going to change, because I'm going to give you practical things that you can start to do today. High five, Mark. Practical things that you are going to start to do today, not tomorrow, today. Hi, Tolani, high five right there. So things you're going to start to do today, right? That is what I'm going to share with you. So as I say this, there's a need for empathy, because we know the situation in Nigeria. And we know that if you're not careful as an entrepreneur, as a business, or even as an individual, it's very easy to get caught up in the many dramatic stories that are happening. Many dramatic tales are happening. Oh, the government is not supplying this, the government is not progressive, government is not doing this right. As we go into this conversation, I'm going to please ask you to let's park the government's matter to one side for now. Let's just park their matter. I'm not ignorant to that. I'm not ignorant to the light issues. I'm not ignorant to all of that. What I'm doing is, with what where we are, how do we still get to the next level? And let me tell you, Nigerians are very resilient people. In fact, one of my mentors used to say that if we can get, Nigerians travel through the Sahara to get overseas. Anybody that can do that, guys, we are resilient enough that we can beat any economic situation. Now, why am I particular about entrepreneurs? We are the biggest group in Nigeria. Smedan's last number was 41.5 million entrepreneurs in Nigeria, small and medium-sized entrepreneurs, right? Entrepreneurship, let me tell you now, so we haven't taken responsibility, start to take responsibility. We drive economies, we drive the economic power. So it is important that we, the entrepreneurs, succeed. It's critical. So again, thank you to MTN for this amazing platform. And thank you for thinking about me, because this is such a critical message at this time. So to Kate and team, you guys, thank you and well done for the amazing work that you're doing. Now, let's talk about why money is important. So please, can you just type, why do you think money is important? Why do you think money is important? Can people just put in the chat box, why is money important? And let's even personalize it. Why is money important to you? Why do you want to make more? Why do you want to do more? Why do you want more money? Put it in the box, please. 1 minute, guys, so we can get through. I have a lot to talk about and we're already 15 minutes in. So why is money important to you? The energy of every business, Benjamin, okay, that's theory. But to you, why is it important? Why is money important to you? Guys, come on, give me some why money is important to you. Let's be honest though. Without money, thank you, Tolani. Without money, you cannot do anything to help people and the entire business. But to you, money solves problems. Mark, please, wherever you are, high five. Money solves problems, though. Money shuts people up. Money stops people from disturbing you. I learned that, in fact, one of the key lessons I learned this my journey is money. Look, there are some things that you want to say, that the only way you can say it is in money. God bless you, James, answers all things. And that's, that trips me because that's a quote from the Bible. Money answers all things. It is so true. There are some questions that you can only answer with money. Let's be real. Vivian, money earns respect. Please, it does. Let's not lie. People will respect you more because of money. Tolani, I don't know if it's a solution to everything. Or it's the basis of resolving many issues, yes. So money is important. Look, in fact, there are some family meetings you can't attend if you don't have money. Have you noticed that rich auntie that comes, that the family meeting cannot start unless that auntie is present? Because they know that this family meeting, the only person that can solve this problem is this rich auntie. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's very important that you understand that money is so critical. Now, as an entrepreneur, if you don't understand the value of money, like me, one of my biggest problems was I did not understand the value of money. I'll just be like, okay, money will come, until the money did not come, right? So understanding the value of money is important. But more importantly, money is a tool. It is a tool to solving issues. It's a tool to carrying your business on. It's a tool to your own personal comfort and the comfort of your family. Because as you are an entrepreneur, you must be comfortable. If you don't have money, it stalls your creative process. For me, I hate poverty with a passion, but I didn't know how much I hated poverty till I didn't have any money. Because in some cases, you cannot even talk if you don't have money. There are some tables you cannot sit at if you don't have money. Guys, the short and long story is money is important. It is critical. It is not everything, but it is a tool to get a lot done with, right? So all of those stories you had in your mind that money will come, why is this rich person behaving funny? Please understand that people will listen to that rich person. You're a better ambassador if you have money. So from this conversation, I want you to commit that from this day on, you'll be intentional about money. It's important that we're intentional about money as entrepreneurs. It is important. Now, if you want to be a good doctor, you go and study medicine. No be so. If you want to be a good pharmacist, you go and study pharmacy and at least make sure you pass most of your exams, right? If you want to be rich, go and study money and the patterns and successes of people that have already made money. And these things can be learned, right? It is a skill. So we're going to go into them piece by piece. So this is the exciting part. And I want you guys, look, this is an interactive session. It's an open section. Abdul Saeed said it's the key to open life. I agree. We need to enjoy ourselves as entrepreneurs. It's critical. So now let me go into the piece of it. So there are two types of laws when it comes to dealing with money. There are inner laws and there are outer laws, right? So there are two types. that we need to really think about and really need to focus on and really need to be excited about as we start to talk about money. And now we're going into the meat of the talk. So, or maybe what I should do is start with, okay, no, let me start with the outer laws first, and then we'll slowly make our way back to the inner laws of wealth. So like everything else that has laws, money has laws. Now, let me give you an example of a law. Gravity is a law, right? If you throw something up, it must come down. There's nothing you can do that will change that. However, there are laws that supersede that, like the law of thermodynamics and the law of lift. So like with airplanes, but it doesn't change the fact that gravity is a law. It might have a super law, but gravity is still a law. And I want you to understand that as we go along. So gravity is a law, and this is how the laws of money are. Now, I want to ask you guys a question, an intentional question. So let me see how well people will answer it. There's no right or wrong answer, by the way, so don't worry about right or wrong. So, Ayobami, I want to see your response, but can you guys tell me, as an entrepreneur, how much do you want to have in your bank account in the next 6 months? Forget Nigeria, and please put the money in, realistic or unrealistic, put the amount in. I suggest dollars, but again, use Naira if you want to. I agree with 15 million Naira mark. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Tamiwa said 6 million. Go on. 50 million. Femi, can we be friends? 75 million O'Shea. The numbers are going up. 30 million Bukola. Well done. Aderonke says 100 million. Please go on. 20 million USD. Dr. Udom, O'Shea, please, let's keep going. How much do you want to have? 500 million dollars. Vivian is a multi-millionaire. $25,000. 10 million, 100 million. You guys like money. Chukudi said $10 million. Correct, guy. 25,000. I think with 10 million, it is still okay. Okay. Is that dollars or Naira? Okay, please be specific. Okay, I think we have a good size of money. So you can see with the current estimation in Nigeria, the current environment in Nigeria, you can't even talk hundreds of thousands right now. You need to have millions, right? In the next, let's just say 6 months to 1 year, it's to be millions. So guys, let's look at these numbers realistically, right? And let's start to understand. The first thing as an entrepreneur is you must be clear of your money story. You must be very, very clear. And I'm going to ask everybody, look, these are things, like I said, you can start doing today, right? Today. Be very clear about your money story. Be very clear about your money story. And what do I mean by money story? Take some time out to think and document. Take some time out to think. So when I got into this mess, I realized that it was a mess I didn't want to be in. How was I going to get out of it? Right? Was my first thing. And I didn't even know what I wanted. My first problem was I did not know what I wanted. So I started to think. Okay, I said, first of all, the number one thing that I want to do is have enough money to pay my staff. How am I going to do that? Right? The second thing I want to do is make sure that I never get into this situation again. So I want to have at least 3 months salary, that whatever happens, we will just keep, that I'll be able to pay my staff. I want to make sure that my son can go to school and nobody will chase me for school fees. I want to do this, and I want to do that. A list of where I wanted to go. Number one step. Because if your why is strong enough, you will achieve that goal. I'm sure all of you have heard that human beings were extremely resilient. If we put our minds to something, the chances are that we will get that thing done. But the problem is some of us don't even know where we are going, so we cannot even start. You know, if I turn to Ishak now, and I say, Ishak, 10 million what? And don't be vague about your money story. Go into detail about it. I'm going to share a secret with you guys. And when we go to the inner laws of wealth, we will talk about it. You cannot get to where you cannot see. You cannot get to where you're not thinking about. The truth about us human beings is that what you think about the most, you will achieve it. Go and check your lives. You are where you said you are going to be. You are, do you understand what I'm saying? What you think about the most, you will naturally, effortlessly achieve. Do you understand? So I think the first things first is get that picture of where you are going very, very clear. So if Ishak says 10 million naira in 6 months, we have a starting point. You want to achieve 10 million naira in 6 months. What does that mean monthly? Because by 3 months, you can tell if you're going to meet that goal of 10 million naira or not. So get your money story very clear. Bukola said 30 million in 6 months. That means 5 million a month. And I think in addition to getting your money story clear, some of the things that you need to start to check is, what do I actually want to do? What quality of life do I want to live? That's another way to calculate this. You can say, next year, I want my children to go to this school. I want to live in this house. I want to do this. I want to be able to have gone on a trip abroad. When you start to build out that money story and get a lot clearer about it, you start to have a plan for it, right? So that was the first thing that I did, right? Was understand the money picture that I wanted to achieve. Where did I want to go to? Once I finished that, and you see, let me explain something. It is your responsibility, our responsibility, and our responsibility alone is to live the kind of life that we want to live. So first, sorry, that was my son. But first things first, get your money story. I mean, for me, I knew that I had a child. If I couldn't pay staff, if I was worried about paying staff, if I was worried about sending my son to school, how was I going to think and be creative in my business? So the very first thing is let's even drop everything and paint a picture of where we want that money story to go to. And please, let me just put this in here. As a business person, take all the time. Look, if you suddenly find yourself in a situation where you cannot think, where suppliers are in your case, where you feel like you have just stalled, take time out. And I'm not saying 1 week, 2 weeks, take a couple, 3 days out to just think and rest and say, what do I want to actually do? Be intentional about that thought process. So once you have gotten your money story straight, get a pen and paper and really think, list. This is my challenge. I'm going to move a bit quickly because Muturaya has told me that I have 15 minutes left. So think very quickly, 25 ways, and I know that we don't document this, 25 ways that you can start revenue today, start making money today. 25 ways. And as I go to the next topic, please just pop in. Just take some time, 2 minutes to think. I'll tell you some of the things I thought about. I thought about selling things on eBay because I needed to fix my money story. I thought about getting a job. Can I get a job while I am working? Can I get a job while I am working? Can I get a job while I'm running my business? Can I increase my revenue streams? I'm going to share a simple formula with you. Wealth is built when the money that comes in is more than the money going out. So people tweak the formula in many different ways. Some people say, okay, let's reduce the money we're spending. Me, personally, I know myself. I like comfort. So that one is not the best option for me. The best option for me is to increase the money that is coming in, right? So if your own approach is, I want to increase the money that is coming in, then please start to document that. Come up with 25 different ways. Minimum, I'm going to challenge you guys, because when I did my own, I came up with 27 ways, and some of them I could enact immediately. And at that point, I realized that my biggest problem was I hadn't even been thinking about ways I could bring in more money. I would just look at the business and say, we're not selling enough. What do I do? You're an entrepreneur. The reason you're an entrepreneur is because you are resourceful. So look at that. Now, the third thing is I'm going to share with you guys a story very quickly, 2-second story of how I personally decided that my own approach was, first of all, get a job. That was one way. And so it's something called earning potential, increase your earning potential. And I did that straight away. All right. Now, in increasing my earning potential, I found out that I got a job. And when I got into this job, the work that they were giving me was more than the work that they had said they were going to give me. It was time for a conversation. So one of my friends, who apparently is on this call, Damilola, Dami, hey girl, Dami sent me a book. And I'm going to come to friendships as well in your money story. Dami sent me a book, and in that book, I read that as a high-value person or someone that knows their worth, you should ask. And I thought, oh, wow, ask? Ask for a pay rise, ask for a pay increase, ask for the money you want, ask for your value. You can ask questions. The words they will say is no, nobody will bite you. Ask your customers to increase more. Some of you entrepreneurs on this call need to double the amount you charge customers. Look, I understood that I was responsible for my money decisions, whether I knew or I did not know. Right? And I will come to that when I talk about reading and educating yourself. But ask questions. And I was able to increase my rate considerably because I had one conversation. And that changed my money story completely. People don't ask. Some of you won't get discounts because you're not asking for discounts. So please ask. The second, I don't even know what number we're on, number 4 things. I'm telling you things that you can do practically from today. Please review your network. And you see, for me, this was a very real one, because when I was going through my money situation, I'll go through my phone and be like, is there nobody I can ask that can help me in this matter? My phone was very interesting. I realized that I didn't have a lot of money people on my phone. There's studies that show that if there are 5 millionaires and you are their friend, you'll be the 6th millionaire. What is your money conversation with your friends? Are you people even talking about money, ways to increase your income? I'm telling you, I was having a conversation with my friend yesterday, and she said, there's this business idea that we can do. It was a very simple one, Airbnb. We didn't even need to buy the properties. Rent the property and do Airbnb with it. Just like that, $3,000, £3,000 a month. If you are renting out to people that are not there, there's so many opportunities today, so many platforms. So I'm not an investment expert, but you can have conversations with people that are investment experts. As I went through that process, I said, one of my friends, he does stocks very well. I'm going to sit down and have a conversation. Let me learn about stocks. Right? So it's important that your networks are important, your friendships are important. In fact, let me tell you what I did. I put a poster on my WhatsApp status. This was using WhatsApp status to be doing rubbish. I put a poster on my WhatsApp status. I said, I'm looking for 5 chicks. We'll encourage each other. We'll open doors for each other. I cannot tell you the tremendous value from being with that group of girls. In fact, there was one time I was saying that, I wanted to get a second job. I'd be able to make money. But can I do it? Can I do it? My friend said she's about to get 3. When you have someone that is there, someone that is telling you of higher goals that they have done, you're like, I can do this. So, it's very important that your network helps you make money. I suggest everybody does a friend review. Right now, if you're my friend, you're not adding to my life, we're not going in the same direction, my team is very limited. Now the one that dramatically changed my life was reading. Guys, learning. If you are serious about wealth, you will read up on wealth. You will read stories. Let me just clarify. Millionaires have a behavior. All you people that say 10 million, 50 million, 100 million, go and study millionaires. Discipline is a core behavior of millionaires. Learning continuously is a core behavior of millionaires. As I started this process, I saw something on Instagram that said you cannot attract new levels with the thinking that you have now. There's a reason why we are not yet millionaires. Well, it depends on which currency, but I'm saying that it is critical that you're continually learning, you are reading, you are developing yourself in the area that you want to be powerful in. You are attending seminars like this, you're attending talks like this, you are increasing your own knowledge. It is critical. Please read. I said from reading one book, I increased my rate by thousands of naira every day. Read. And then what starts to happen as your habits become better is like magic. Opportunities begin to open. So 30 million naira, 5 million a month. The first step, think about how quickly you can make 5 million a month. You want to make 5 million a month. So what can you do? Okay, the business you have right now is opening up 500,000. That means you have 4.5 million. You can think. In fact, it could be something you do that the money is just coming in. You don't have to do anything. I mean, someone else was telling me about another deal. Put some money into property and they'll be paying you a percentage every month. Just think of things that you can do. Go online, do research. and think of ways that you can. Look, I'm going to be very brutally honest. I realized that my business was not at the point where we could afford an office. And I was using a property as an office. When I realized that, and I started to tell myself some truth, we put the property on the market to be rented out, because I looked at how much we could release a year from that property, and that money can do better. And then my team work from home. So which changes can put in place today? And they might stretch you, but you know that you are going somewhere. So let's be intentional. I promise you, if you look around you, you can start to release money from different areas. The point is, we're not looking, so we don't see them. So as I said, millionaires have a habit, but let me quickly touch on these because of time. Please think about your money decisions. I don't know about you guys, but me, I used to be, once someone comes with a request, I'm like, let me pay quickly. As money comes, the money is going out straight away. Please don't do that. As an entrepreneur, you think about every spend, because allocate value to that money. If you're spending 10,000 naira, do some research. Are there ways that you can bring that money down? Are there ways that you can plan better? Look, I've done research from simply, I've gotten some things for free just because I researched a little bit more. I spent an extra 2 minutes researching. Please, it is critical. Don't just, money comes in, okay, let's just quickly spend this. I want to grow there. My team can tell you, I used to be very good at that. It got me into a lot of trouble. So now nobody's dying. They can wait a few hours for you to do the transfer because you are thinking through. With some of our suppliers, what we went back to do was negotiate. We said, look, we cannot pay you this, but if you can wait a few weeks, I will add maybe 10%. Peace of mind at that point. For some of the look, it was getting pretty contentious because everybody was itching for money. So sometimes you can actually negotiate and say, look, this. Now, entrepreneurs, please, if you don't take anything from this talk, please take this. You must look after yourself. You must look after yourself. And what does looking after yourself mean? Paying yourself. So what I've now started to do is, when money comes in, I sit down. How much do I need? We hear first, pay yourself first, but we don't understand it, because if you are not good, nobody in the business will be good. So me, initially, what I used to do is I'll pay people and then I'll be looking for money for myself now. And it's not a thing. It is that if you, the person that started the business, are not comfortable, if Tolan is not comfortable, if Ishak is not comfortable, if Aderonke is not comfortable, the business cannot grow, because your creativeness, the time you're supposed to be using to work on the business, you'll be running around looking for money. So decide, how much do I want left after this transaction? So I've talked about asking for your value, the people you surround yourself with, paying yourself first, the money equation of getting more and reduce. Do you understand? So Motura is asking people, I don't know if I'm the one that engaged people, or that they're not asking questions. Please, can you guys ask questions? Thank you, Franklin, for this. But please, as an entrepreneur, pay yourself first. Make sure your basic needs are sorted. Do what it takes, and then plan. I cannot tell you how much to plan. I'm going to say this, and I know that MTN are going to cut me off in a minute. We didn't have time to get to the inner laws of wealth, but I don't know how. I can share with you. I can tell you a book to read. Richest Man in Babylon is a good one that talks about the inner. But please, I'm going to indulge for 1 second. But plan. So let me give you a good example of planning. I decided that I wanted to live a certain. So planning was what we talked about. You want to achieve you want to live a certain life. How much do you need? What is it going to take for you to get there? Do you understand? So don't just make decisions. Entrepreneurs, because we're very optimistic people, we get excited easily. A new idea comes, you want to jump. Go and investigate the new idea. Understand yourself and say, look, me, I cannot suffer. I cannot be without food. I cannot be looking for money without. Some people are comfortable with that. Okay, if I know that I cannot be looking for money without food, then I must have 3 months worth saved. Until I have that 3 months saved, I will not go and do what I need to do. Guys, do you understand what I'm saying? So those are some of the things I can share with you. But even if I spend 2 hours here, I can't share everything. It's too many. But essentially, the crux of the matter is your behavior will change if you want to be a millionaire. So millionairism is not something that you just get into like that. Go on YouTube, listen to people like Brian Tracy, listen to people like Les Brown, listen to some people that can tell you the secrets, the ways millionaires behave. Invest in that time. Very quickly, I'm going to touch on this. Please, 1 minute, MTN. Let me just share this. There's some other things that I started, and I think I need to share this with you guys, because inner and outer laws that should work together. And please, I'm just going to list them out. So please go and find out a bit more about them. But I started a gratitude journal because the plenty stress was making me very sad, and I needed to start getting happy. So every day I look for things in my life that I can be grateful for. So for instance, there's some thinking that says that you cannot attract, you will attract what you think about. So we don't want to be thinking about not having money. We want to be thinking about hope, excitement. We want to be good. And it works like magic because things just start magically happening. Visualizing. So sometimes I would catch myself, and look, one of the habits of millionaires is that they have a very disciplined thought life. So I would catch myself just being sad and thinking about, hey, the wahala I'm in. But I started thinking about interesting things like my holiday, for instance. Where would I go to on holiday? You know? And then please, this one is speaking the right words. Now, I'm not saying speak, I'm closing my book, but let me talk about speaking. I was not talking about, thank you, you attract what you think about, Joke. But I started watching what I was saying. Now, not because of any spiritual reason. I'm a Christian, I'm a woman of faith, yes, but that wasn't why I was speaking the right words. Because everything else is speaking to you. The economy is telling you something. Bank account is speaking to you. They're speaking if you don't know. They're speaking to you. So you must be able to speak back. So the bank account is telling you, if I'm empty, I'm empty, I'm empty. And I'm like, and I noticed that what you speak about, you think about, then you end up doing. So speaking is really important. So if you just imagine visualizing, all of those things, Emmanuel, you're so right. Self-awareness is so key. So I'm going to keep quiet now. But yeah, I hope you have gotten value from it. So thank you very much, MTN, again. And thank you guys for just, over to you, Motoraya.
Thank you, Ade. Thank you so much, Ade. We'll go to the questions now, to the Q&A.
All right, thanks, Bethan.
All right. Okay, the first question says, please, how can I create a burning desire as an entrepreneur?
How can I create a burning desire? And I love the fact that you asked that question, because everything starts from desire. I think for me was actually just looking at successful people and see that, is this person not doing what they're doing? Why are they so successful? So I think just looking at what other people are doing. Looking at what other people are doing. You can take lessons and understanding that it's not exclusive to that person. It is not exclusive. Nobody has two heads. So wealth was not meant for one person. Sometimes it's just living, sometimes, let me not lie, you have to leave your hamlets. God bless you, frankly. Is that burning desire? You have to live where you are and go and see what's outside. Sometimes I do, I'm not going to lie, I do it sometimes. I'll just leave my house and go and hang out in Ikoyi, the houses, maybe, look at stick picking to Banana Island, because I'm like, what do these people have that I don't have? But I think it's the picture that you see that really matters, and really wanting to get out of where you are. And I'm so glad you asked about desire, because that is really the start point. So exposure is very important. Thank you, Dr. Udom. But exposure is so critical, guys. Exposure, so expose yourself. Again, your friends. Like I said to you, I have some friends that my own dreams are tiny beside their own, and my dreams are not small. So I have this particular friend, Timmy. Timmy gingers me. Timmy will just say, this is what I'm thinking about. So my other friend, Dami, the one that's on this call, Dami too, will tell me, this is what I'm doing. I'll not see, I cannot come and carry last. And Nigerians, we don't carry last. Remember, we don't. So create a desire by being around the right people. Some of these stories you see on LinkedIn, they're not super stories, so I hope that answered your question.
Yeah.
Blessing.
The other question from Ayobami Adeyemi, how can we build our wealth? How can we start to build our wealth?
Ayobami, I don't know if you heard my presentation, but I gave a few tips on there. But I think for me, the key thing that helped me was doing that initial list, 25 people, 25 revenue streams, 25 ways I can create money today. And I'm not going to that. I mean, within 3 days, I set up my shop on eBay. I had decided what I was going to sell on my shop. This is outside my normal business. So I had started looking at ways I could get another job. I started putting out my CV to more people for more jobs, because I now had a mission. I wanted to increase my wealth. So that your 25 list is very important. I think that's a start point. So please start with your 25. And for everybody, it is different. It could be that you're selling soap. It could be that you're selling cream online. It could be that you open an Instagram account and you suddenly identify something that you're very good at selling, because we're all good at something. I got into a lot of trouble for talking as a child. So I know that, talking is something I can do effortless. Do you understand? So it's very important that you do that list and start to unlock ways that you can get money. And I assure you are good at something that someone wants to make money for. You are good at something that someone will pay for. So start there. Do you understand? Start there. Start with that list of 25 things, whether you're working, whether you're not working. Identify 25 things. Just take 2 days to think about it. And I can assure you, you'll come up with some things that you can start to do.
Thank you, Ade.
It could be, I'm going to do a part-time job. Sorry, there's e-lance, become a freelancer. There's so many things that you can sell that someone will pay for. Sorry, Blessing, go on.
Okay. This question is from Ifeanyi. I must appreciate the speaker. My question is, please, what are the strategies one could adopt in order not to go out of business, taking cognizance of the high rate of inflation in the country, presently in respect of materials, power, data, etc.?
Thank you very much for your question.
And please put your questions in the Q&A box so that we don't miss out on questions in the chat box, please.
Thank you very much for your question, and I thank you for appreciating me. Please, the first thing to do is do a review. Do a review of your expenses. Do you understand? Some of us don't even know how much has come in, how much is going out. And I have to be honest with you as a business person, because at some point, because people just come and say, pay this, I will not check. Please do a review of your expenses. I can assure you that there's some things you're spending that are not critical. Again, do research before you spend anything. Where can I get this cheaper? Where can I get this better? Because the one thing that we cannot do something about today is that inflation rates. That one is in someone's hands, something about the government. But what are the things that you can do today? Like I told you, we put our office on rent and everybody started working from home because we didn't need that office. And I didn't say this before, but let me tell you, from just doing that, we released almost 12 million, or the plan is to release almost between 10 to 12 million from that office. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there are some things that you can do. And I know that everybody cannot do that. But there are some things that you can do today that can suddenly release money. Just look a bit deeper. Please review your expenses. There were some expenses we were making that did not make sense at all, and we stopped them. And then do it, but the business is not at the point where you can afford to do it yet. So you will do it again. You will eventually do it. But when you're in a stable position, then you will do it. But for now, we can't do it. So do research and then review your expenses. Do research before you spend. The other thing I started to do was I check my bank statements every day. Every day. Because there are some charges. You just see this one came out, that one came out. I'm like, from where? But at least if you're checking it, you know that, okay, next time this thing shouldn't come out.
Thank you so much. How can someone build their network? That's the next question from Bukola.
Bukola, please, your network is very important too. Very, very important. So there are so many tools. There's LinkedIn. Sometimes you can get mentors by just sending someone on LinkedIn a message. I'm telling you very honestly. Like if you're a serious person, some people will answer you on LinkedIn. So you have to be intentional about your network, right? Very, very intentional about your network. Very intentional about your network, number one. 2, please be very intentional about your friendships. Friends. Please be intentional about your friends. I cannot say this one enough. Or at least dissect your friends. Not the ones that are for Ashwebi, not the ones that are for this, because the decisions you make now will impact the next 5 years at the very least. There's some friends that I don't have time for their phone calls. So how can you do that? Like I said, I put a status update on WhatsApp. That's how I built my initial millionaires group. So we're called millionaires. We chat all the time. We encourage each other. We come up with business ideas. And I didn't just accept them. There were some people that reached out to me that was like, no, you're not the right person. And I was very intentional in my own journey. But build your millionaires group. If you guys are serious about going to millionaireship together, build that group. Do you understand? Build the group. Because the truth about it is, and that was how I built my put feelers out, but interview them. I interviewed my girls. I said, so what are your plans? What are you doing at the moment? Introduce yourself, first of all. And I had criteria: business people people that could open doors. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's that bit of analysis that you need to do.
Yeah, thank you. I need guidance on areas to concentrate in trying to gather enough capital from Kabiru.
Kabiru, okay, fine. So this is a very interesting one. So Kabiru, as a business person, and maybe I should talk a bit about this because we didn't have time to touch on it, but you can use other people's money to grow your business. And there's something called investors. But investment, raising money for your business is a skill. It's a serious skill because it's going to give you money, it's going to ask you some serious questions, right? I cannot go into it now. It's a very long topic because one of the things as a tech business we are doing is raising funds. So please read up on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a name of a book. I think I have it somewhere. Let me check. We can go to the next question, but I will keep asking. I think it's called The Perfect Pitch. But do some research on the process of raising funds. I mean, there are certain things that you need, like your deck. You need to show that your business can succeed. But while you're in that process of raising money, please try and enact some of the other things that I've said, because raising money is not a joke. It's not an easy exercise. And that's why I didn't focus on it today, because I want to focus on things that you can do today. But all the other things that I've spoken about, please try and enact them. They will definitely help.
Thank you, Ade. How can I make money online, and how can I make my business online?
Awesome. So again, online is important. I think someone had alluded to the fact that she was in Plateau and wanted to move, wanted to extend her business, and she didn't know how to do it. Online is a perfect way to do it. I'm sorry, I didn't touch on digital, even though I am a digital entrepreneur. So there are different ways. You can join existing platforms. And please don't be shy about where you start from. Let me just be very clear. If you need to join a Jumia today, they have a good network and it will serve you for a period. Do you understand? Talani, I'm not going to address investors again because I have, but I will share the book title with MTN. Maybe they can send it out. I don't know. But sorry, I was talking about online. Please join existing platforms. I see a lot of entrepreneurs that want to go and build their websites. Guys, I am an entrepreneur. I'm a tech entrepreneur. Tech is not a joke and it's not easy. And you see, to do what we do, we have, or maybe I should just end the question here, the questions here. We have on my team, some of my team is here. We have 3 tech guys, right? And we have tried to build our platform for 2 years straight. We're only just now making progress. Tech is not a joke. You know, it's very difficult to go and say, I want to outsource my website to one developer, pay him 100K, and I will get a super smart, what's it called, life. Doesn't happen like that. So let me just clarify that for you guys straight away. If you're a tech entrepreneur, get on an existing platform and start proving your business, be getting money in that way first. Share it with your friends, push it, tell people about it, tell people go and buy, use Instagram, use existing tools first. When you have made money, you can now start talking developer, but at least money is already coming in one way. Because we provide platforms in LOSODE for other people. So for the fashion entrepreneurs, you can come and join LOSODE. Do you understand? But join an existing platform and put your things there. And look, there's no barrier to how many of these platforms that you can join. So if you're on LOSODE, they won't say don't go be on Jumia. Do you understand? But tech is extremely expensive before it takes off, right? We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars at least. So use Instagram, use WhatsApp setup, start making sales first on any tech business. And then you can now build your own website. Yeah.
Okay. I'm happy to be here. My question is, with the problem we are facing here on this planet, where everything has been divided into ethnicity, religion, and tribe, how can someone like us that doesn't have anyone in power be able to get funds to expand our business?
Please who asked that question?
Tolani, Tajudeen.
Tolani. I don't have anybody in power as well. I don't have anybody in power. You see, the Rich Kids Club, it's not open. They're not taking any new people. So you have to create your own rich club. Go and ask anybody. The Rich Kids Club is taking any new entrants. Right? So don't think that someone sitting somewhere has people in power. My mentor, who's an extremely influential person today, he said something, he said, 15, 14 years ago, he didn't have. Everybody is starting at zero. Even if your father is rich, it's not your own. So please, Tolani, like I said, take some of the things on this call. Look at LinkedIn. Have a tight business plan. If you want to raise money, go and meet people on LinkedIn. Do program. Standard Chartered do a fantastic program. They will give you $10,000. Tony Lumelu just finished TF Foundation. $5,000. I apply for all of them. But it's by research. There's so many entrepreneurial programs that you can just sit online. If you give yourself, 1 hour a day and say, I'm going to look for grants as a woman in business. There are so many organizations that are helping women today. Please do the work that will get you to the next level. It's nobody's responsibility to help you make money. Sorry for my candidness, but I have to be real with you because these are things that I found. When I'll be looking at my friend's bank account, I'm like, I can't access it. It's my friend's own. So I started finding ways for my own. Please.
Very true, Ade. Thank you. That's very true. What kind of books are you recommending to us?
Oh, I have a fantastic book. So number one book that I read, We Should All Be Millionaires, is by Rachel Rodgers. Please get it if you can. Look, some of these resources, you don't even have to pay for them, but please get it if you can. We Should All Be Millionaires. Business books. There was one I was going to put there, Pitch Perfect. There's Richest Man in Babylon, which I think everybody should read. One thing I really enjoy doing is, so I challenge myself to read a chapter every day. So if there's an area of weakness in my life, I will read a chapter every day in that area, and you'll find that grows. For people of faith, the Bible, definitely. Please, audio, if you're an audio person, the one that you'll be checking reels on Instagram, in 20 minutes, you can learn a lesson from Jim Rohn. So please look at people like Jim Rohn. They all had, in fact, What Stories Are You? Brian Tracy, you can read on, you can catch up on an audio from Brian Tracy. There's so many of them, so many of successful people. And I like particularly the older ones. I personally enjoy the older ones. So everybody has their style. Do you understand? So please catch up with those guys. Okwem is asking for my contact. That will depend on MTN. And we can definitely look into that.
Okay.
So guys, that is my advice.
2 more questions after this to wrap up. Please
no problem.
more light on how we can review our networks.
Oh, okay. Reviewing the network. So this is a very interesting story. So let me use myself because I would like to be real. I went through my I went through my WhatsApp list. Which friend? So, one of the books I was reading was talking about an annual friend review. And I think everybody should do an annual friend review. There are some friends that have no place in your life. There are some friends that in the last month, you've not given them a deal. They've not given you a deal. In the last year, 1 year, there's some people that are just marking on your register. And listen, the friendship thing is so important. Because there will come a day, even with all your strategies, you will need to lean on someone or someone will need to lean on you. Please create your network now, your own Rich Kids Club. Do you understand? But I think the basic thing, start first. Look at your WhatsApp, your phone list and everything. Where are you leaning on the heavier conversations? Who are you really talking to regularly? And let me tell you, as an entrepreneur, let me tell you why this is important. And my team can attest to this. At some point, my team became my sounding board, and they're not equipped for that. Your team are not equipped to be your sounding board. Your team are not equipped to be your advisors. So I had to understand that myself and move away from that predominantly. Because you're on your team, you're always with your people, you guys are working together, you're always on calls. So as an entrepreneur, if you don't have a friend list, people that are entrepreneurs at your level, your team will become your sounding board, will be the people that you talk to. And really, is it really fair on them? It's not. Because the reason why we're entrepreneurs is because if we had employees, we solve employee problems. So please, guys, your friend list. So start by reviewing, start by checking, and then start by deciding. It's about being intentional. Is there someone that you've identified that can be a friend? Is there someone you've identified that can be a mentor? And be very careful when people come into your life. Because like me, our friends will come and people come for different reasons. Some come to mark register. Some come because they see you're active on social media. Some come because you posted a really nice picture on social media. So please be careful. Do you understand? So you almost need to interview every friend. And even after you joined your group, don't just assume they become your best friend like that. Then have friends like my Dami, for example. Friends that would just, she's not in my millionaires group, I'm not in her millionaires group. So we both have separate millionaires groups. But guess what? We talk to each other as well. Do you understand what I'm saying? For whatever reasons, and it's not fight, everybody has their own groups. We exchange ideas. She tells me, oh, you should do this in your group, or we're doing this in my own group. You know, friends that even tell you about our job, that send you books. Shouldn't they be, think about it. It might be that you're not in each other's groups because you live in different countries, but what is my friend doing? This friendship should lead to somewhere now. It shouldn't just be, we're just gisting, we're gossiping about everybody, we're talking about the next best. Why? So I think annual friend review. So my friends now, it's an annual friend review because what I allow in my life, I am the one that allowed it, not anybody else. Sorry, Blessing. I hope that helps.
I'm sure.
Oh, sorry, let me just say this, Blessing. There are also groups online. There are groups on Facebook, business groups online that you can join. There are millionaires groups online that you can join. Look for good ones. They don't always have to be in Nigeria. Do you understand? Some are paid for. If you're at that level, pay for it. Even if it's one abroad, you never know the doors these networks can open for you. Do you understand? Actively join a network today. Please join a network. There's some that are free. In fact, let me tell you, there's the Enterprise Development Center that has us specifically in Nigeria to help entrepreneurs. Go and pay them a visit, have a conversation. They might tell you about a free program that's going on. You're an entrepreneur, you're entitled to it. Sorry.
Thank you, Ade. Please, what is the marketing strategy that can help me sell my products?
This is not the marketing seminar. Zainab, this is not a marketing seminar. Well, let me share some things with you. So, are we looking for free marketing or paid marketing? But there's two. There's free marketing and there's paid marketing. Free marketing could be anything as simple as your WhatsApp status. And, I said something earlier. I said, ask your friends to share things for you. So when this webinar came out, I asked my friends to share. Someone was telling me that, I'm on this group because Dami shared it on her status. I didn't know what to expect, but I'm glad I joined. Dami shared for me. I'm not afraid to ask. I shared it on my Instagram. I told people, please share it for me. That was marketing. I put it on my LinkedIn. I told people about it because even beyond people coming to the webinar, someone else may see it and say, they come and talk somewhere else. This time we're paying you or we're paying you more money. Do you understand what I'm saying? I wasn't paid for this, by the way. But I'm just telling you, so don't think that, I'm wrapping it up in anything, but please ask people, ask groups. I'm particular with WhatsApp group, but ask the admin person, is it okay to share in your group? So there's free and there's join. So before you even start asking people, have I maximized all of the ones in my network? Then have I maximized my groups? Do you understand what I'm saying? So do that. And then there's paid marketing. Right now, advertising is not something that people should suffer for. There's Instagram paid that as little as 1,000 advertisers on Instagram. If you can buy data, you can advertise. At least any business can. 2,000, 3,000 naira. Allocate an amount. And then again, read. In fact, it was just this morning as I was listening to one of my messages. I couldn't sleep at night, so I stayed up a bit longer. And Brian Tracy was talking about how anybody can learn sales. I was like, really? I don't particularly like sales. But even if it is 30 minutes a day, I'm going to start dedicating it to sales so that I can increase my knowledge because it's something I need for my business. So read, and you will find more strategies that I'm telling you about. BRT apparently is not that expensive. You'll be surprised at how a lot of things are actually not as expensive as we think they are. So those are some marketing strategies. But when we have a marketing seminar, I can go into marketing for you. They said he told his question dropped off.
Ade, in one sentence. In one sentence, just in one sentence, please tell the audience what LOSODE is all about.
LOSODE is an e-commerce marketing platform. We come up with solutions for the fashion industry, and essentially we create websites we don't create websites, but you can come and rent a shop from us and reach more people via LOSODE.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, it's time for us to wrap up. To wrap up this session. Hello. This marks the end of the session. But before we go, I'd like to say a very big thank you to Aderonke for an eye-opening session, to my colleagues, Kate, Moturaya, Aderishola, and also to our technical support partner, Choyosi. And a very big thank you to you, our SMEs on this call. We appreciate you. We do not take your time here for granted. And we hope to see you. We hope to invite you for subsequent webinar sessions. To contact us, please visit our website or send us an email via letstalk.ng@mtn.com for any of our services. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much,
Ade.
Thank you, Mutarayo. You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you and have a productive day ahead.